So hi everyone, here we are. Before small group discussion, we'll present our student project about sex tourism. Next slide, please. Okay, there are 3 chapters, and the first will be we'll start by me. So I'm Khadra Karin Kamila with lesson number 009. I would like to explain about the background of today's presentation topic. Next slide, please. Okay. So the tourism industry has a significant impact on the economy of and welfare of a country. It has positive and negative impacts, and sex tourism is one of the most popular sectors in the tourism industry itself. And the issue of sex tourism is still complicated and complex among the government and society until now. And there are some problem formulation here. Next slide, please. Okay, the first one is what is sex tourism? And the second one, what are the impacts of sex tourism? And the third one, what are the precautionary measures for sex tourism? And the next slide will be explained by my colleague. Thank you.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Carla Manullang with my last 3 digits are 146. Now I am going to present about the definition of sex tourism. Sex tourism is defined as travel planned specifically for the purpose of sex, generally to a country where prostitution is legal. While much of the literature on sex tourism relates to the commercial sex worker industry, sex tourism also finds expression in non-transactional sexual encounters. Domestic sex tourism implies travel within the same country, while transnational sex tourism refers to travel across international boundaries. In some cases, travelers may engage in sex tourism to validate their own sexual identity with greater freedom than their own country of origin allows. The next part will be continued by my colleague. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aurelia, and my last 3-digit name is 081, and I will explain about the epidemiology. Next slide, please. Sex tourism epidemiology. Traveler act as a bridge for international STD transmission, and the majority of cases of STD is estimated to be due to unprotected sex, multiple casual partner while traveling, and prevalence of STDs in the destination country. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Putu Diva Artha with 3 last digit number 238. So I will continue the presentations about the benefits of sex tourism. So the benefits of sex tourism are the first one, increase a country's economic capability in the tourism sector. And second one, the people who practice sex tourism activities can increase the cost of family economic income, help with the cost of caring for children and education, and quickly make money in an easy way. And the third one is the countries that legalize sex tourism is a little help by the flow of their commercial profits, such as hotels and bars, there which also get quite good profits. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, let me introduce myself. My name is Calista Amore Manurung with last digit number 208. Next, please. Now I'll explain the risk of sex tourism. So the risk of sex tourism are the spread of illness. They are more susceptible to have sexually transmitted disease like HIV, and any location or nation where sex tourism is practiced gains a negative reputation on a worldwide scale. A country's reputation can have a negative impact on a lot of people's livelihoods. And sex tourism harms the nation's residents on a social and cultural level as well. So high levels of tension, sadness, and even suicide was caused by this. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the time. My name is Nyoman Sujana with the last 3 digits of the number 011. Next slide, please. So alcohol and sex tourism. So as we know, alcohol is one of the most common factors that contributes in sexual behavior, especially for tourists. On the table, alcohol use is being one of the most typical types of sex tourists. Alcohol could reduce anxiety and shame during sexual intercourse. On the other hand, it also affects erectile functions and perceptions, which could lead to risky and unconsensual sex. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nyoman Putra. My last student number is 050. Next, I will tell about drugs. Drugs in sex tourism has been inseparable. Why? The use of drugs is said to be able to increase the profitability of the local working area. The worker in sex tourism industry explain the use of drugs is vital in making the tourism have a good time for both party and maintaining the attractiveness of the local industry. The more tourists enjoy the time, the more money flow they can earn. Studies report that most tourists and sex workers are aware of the risks of STD infection, and the environmental factors are also important to point the intervention and prevention of risky drug use behavior in tourism. Maybe that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Veronika Wijaya with my last digit of my ID number 113. Next slide, please. Now I will talk about the legal aspect of sex tourism. With sex tourism, travelers can act unethically in sexual behavior, especially accessibility to minors. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention considers sex tourism to be human trafficking and slavery. Human trafficking, sexual encounter, and child pornography are universally considered criminal. Individuals caught doing so should be punished according to the laws in force in the region. That's all from me. Next slide will be presented by.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Edgar and my last digit of student number is 045. Next, I will explain the advice before travel. Although commercial sex work may be illegal in some parts of the world, researching the laws in country you visit shouldn't be missed while preparing your holiday. We also recommend that travelers get vaccinated for hepatitis A and B before travel because both viruses can be spread through sex. We also recommend people to get HPV vaccine because HPV can be spread by vaginal, anal, or oral sex with someone who has the virus. Travelers that are concerned about HIV should be educated too about PrEP or pre-exposure prophylaxis. It's usually in the form of pills or shot and can reduce the risk of getting HIV from sex by about 99%. That's all for me.
Hello everyone, my name is Erick Gonata. Number is 096. Next. So the advice during travel is research done by Erick Gonata found that sex tourism is highly associated with sex transmitted disease. So in order to maintain the quality of your sex tourism, we would like to recommend you to use contraceptive in order to protect yourself. So some contraceptive that can be used, the most common one is condom, because in some region of the world, prevalent STDs like gonorrhea has developed a resistance to the drugs used to treat them. International tourists who engage in sexual activity with unfamiliar partners while away from home are exposed to various sexual networks, which could result in impotence or STDs that are drug resistant. That's why always use a condom while having sex. The next one will be presented by my colleague.
Hello everyone, my name is Zefanya and Pranoto with the last digits of the number 166, and I will continue the presentation. So when travelers return from a trip, they are suggested to make an appointment with a healthcare provider to get a medical checkup, which should include sexual transmitted infections and HIV tests. And if travelers become ill after travel, they also should seek for a healthcare provider immediately and talk about their shift complaint, their recent trip, the medication they use, and their recent sexual activities. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, let me introduce myself first. My name is Sutedja with the last 3 digits of my student ID number 080. I will summarize. So sex tourism is an activity carried out by someone to visit another country and engage in sexual activity in the designated country. Sex tourism is increasingly happening because several parties commercialize this action. Several things can induce addiction to sex tourism, such as alcohol and drugs. There are many risks and negative effects caused by sex tourism, such as ethical aspects, human rights, and health. Education and knowledge of aspects before, during, and after visiting can be suggestions for people who want to travel to avoid or reduce the unwanted effects and risks of sex tourism. The next slide will be explained by my colleague. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Fauzan Mikajavani with 3 digit of my 3 last digit of my student number is 131. So I'll explain about the recommendation of this student project. For the studies regarding the elements involved in sex tourism should be conducted in order to better detect signs and symptoms of the condition in a clinical settings and prevent the unwanted effects of sex tourism mentally or clinically. So thank you for listening our presentation. We're from the SGD B4. Goodbye.